So what I wanted to talk about today has to do with, and it really dovetails into the previous speaker, around this notion of digital transformation and what does that mean in government. One thing I like to show when I talk to customers, I have a different set of slides that has a couple of graphics in it that really shows that we're in the middle of this mobile cloud third platform era, what I call the mobile mind shift. There's a really good book on that available on Audible that really talks about these mobile moments and the mobile mind shift that we're in the middle of. And if you don't believe it, one photo really sets a good example for me. It goes back to, there's two pictures. One is in 2005, I believe it was, when Pope Benedict was elected. It was a photograph taken from a perspective in the Vatican Square. It was an audience of people at night waiting for the smoke to come out of the smokestack. And they're all standing around, and it's pretty dark. There's one person in the far right-hand corner that's holding up a flip phone. So that was your leading-edge technologist back in '05. And they're waiting. Michael Sohn, who's a German photographer for the AP, was in that exact same spot in 2013, I believe it was, when Pope Francis was elected. And he thought it was really cool to see the perspective. So he got in that same location and he saw this picture, same size crowd of people, but everyone's faces lit up like they were at a rock concert. They're all holding up a phone or a tablet of some sort to capture that photo. And to me, that was a really telling perspective on how rapidly things have changed in the last 5 to 6 years on the mobile side. What does that mean for government? It brings on, for you all, an exciting set of opportunities and also a pretty scary set of challenges. If you poll most CIOs or executives, IT executives in government today and say, how many servers do you have in your inventory? They can give you a pretty good number. If you ask how many laptops or desktops are out there, again, probably a fairly good number. Then you ask the question, how many smartphones, how many iPhones, Windows phones, BlackBerries are in your infrastructure or within your organization? It's a good question. Agencies that don't allow them, it's fairly easier, but a lot of agencies, people bringing in their personal phones to do business. It's kind of a hard thing to get your hand around. Not only with that in mind, how do you secure it? You've got to secure that endpoint. We all have seen in the news in the last 5 or 6 years how important endpoint security is. And this third graphic really pains me. It really does. It makes me feel old. I'm used to days when it said legacy infrastructure was a mainframe or a big monolithic server supercomputer somewhere. Now it's a laptop and a desktop for a lot of folks. Think about that. And then lastly, the dynamic workforce. Those same people that are coming out of school, the new workers coming into the workplace, they're used to always on, always available, always have access to everything right here, right now, wherever I'm at. They're the ones that see laptops and desktops as legacy. So in talking to customers over the past 18 to 24 months, we've seen sort of a market shift in terms of trends within IT and government. The first is cybersecurity. That's never going to go away. We're always going to have that in the forefront, especially now being able to secure the endpoint, being able to protect against insider threats, and be on the lookout for anything that has the word wiki in front of it. In addition to maintaining compliance, whether it's HIPAA, whether it's FISMA, whether it's FedRAMP, whether it's PCI if you're in the retail transactional industry, and most importantly, enforcing identity-based authentication, proving that you are who you say you are through some sort of multi-factor approach. How you do that in mobile is a little bit challenging. Cloud services, well known, everything is now going, everything today is as a service. You can get anything as a service today in IT. Infrastructure and legacy app modernization. This is really what's driving a lot of transformation, is bringing that consumer, think about your own experience as a mobile user, okay? You can install your own applications, you can do things like, you hear a song playing, hit Shazam or SoundHound, and boom, you know what it is, instant access. You want to go online to your bank, more than likely you have an app for that. You can check your balance, transfer money, do all these things in an instant from a mobile device. It's how do we bring that same level of consumer simplicity into the enterprise, into the infrastructure, and also make it secure. We also have to, and it's all in the name of providing that modern instant-on experience to our users, our customers, our constituents that we have out there. Another big item is Windows 10. Anybody seen or heard anything about Windows 10 mandates or anything around that in the news in the last year or so? I'm joking, clearly. But moving to Windows 10 to take advantage of some of the robust security policies is, first and foremost at the top of a lot of IT executives' mind. And then high availability, making sure that the applications that we ultimately deliver to the consumer is available anytime, anywhere, from any place, regardless of disruption, regardless of device. So it all kind of is summed up in this concept of IT modernization. As I said before, we have to rapidly transform how we provide services to our consumers, to our users, to our customers. Innovate employee workflow and support agency mission and retain talent. Think about this, the new college graduates coming out, how important it is if you want to hire those folks. The idea of someone, say, graduating today, walking out and going, I have to go to an office every day, 5 days a week, put my time in, and I have to be at my desk, at this desktop or laptop. I can't do anything outside of that. That's a foreign concept to those folks. They're used to doing anything. They're used to going to a coffee shop. They're used to being anywhere on their tablet and getting access to the tools and the resources that they need. So we have to create an environment in which we can also retain and attract top talent. As I said, maintaining continuity of operations is radically important, especially in the mobile era. Deliver secure access. This is probably one of the more challenging aspects that we have, is how do we guarantee who you say you are. It was fairly simple in the day, we have CAT cards, right? Your card comes in, you plug it in, you authenticate, you have a good two-factor method. How do you do that in the mobile world? How do you take advantage of technologies like derived credentials, for mobile? And then protect data at rest and data in transition on any type of device across any platform. What we've come up with, we branded as a solution called Workspace ONE, is a common workspace, what we call the secure digital workspace. It's a common look and feel across any application, across any device rather, whether it be a tablet, regardless of the operating system, a smartphone, or a laptop experience. It's the same user experience, it's the same access to applications. These applications can reside anywhere. They can be whitelisted, wrapped inside your infrastructure. They can be SaaS applications, that are accessed through some third-party cloud provider. We integrate with, like on the tablets or the smartphones, for example, we integrate with the biometric thumb reader. We use it internally ourselves. It's really something that we've been using now for almost a year, where it really has boosted our productivity. So we enter we use our RSA for our two-factor authentication. We put in our RSA token. It's matched up to our thumbprint. So now, if I want access to my portfolio, my catalog of applications that I use, I just put in my thumbprint and I'm off and running. It guarantees, it validates that it's me, and we're off and moving. Another key aspect of this is, again, it's not operating system dependent, My personal example, I had around September 25th, 26th, nothing really going on from a company doing business with the government, not a busy time of year. I had a hardware failure on my laptop, In most years, I would have gone into an intrinsic panic, but because we leverage Workspace ONE internally, I was able to go from my laptop, go over and get my tablet, bring it back up, and I had full continuity of operations. That's the experience that we're bringing into the enterprise that we have today as consumers. And lastly, modernizing IT infrastructure. We did a recent poll, and there's probably about 1.5 million or more applications that are currently available in a public app store today. I guarantee you, from the time this poll was taken until now, it's probably grown tenfold in terms of apps that have been published. The secret is, if you work from the end user through the one-touch single sign-on that I mentioned, all the way back to the infrastructure, and I know we talk a lot about common tablets, desktops, smartphones. It can also be, we talk about Internet of Things. It can also be things like if you're in the Postal Service, for example, or anybody who's in logistics in government, ruggedized scanners, Internet of Things. Those things have to be managed, they have to be secured, and have to be protected based on the quantity and the type of data that's stored on those. You know, logistics information, addresses, sometimes package contents, names and numbers. Those things have to be managed, and we can do that. You tie that in with end-user unified endpoint management. Again, same look and feel across all platforms. Marry that with identity and security, and then take advantage of providing your desktop as a service, and you get the full end-to-end secure digital workspace for government. So what is the next step? We talked a little bit about security. Again, it's that multi-layer approach, providing security with identity at the end-user layer. We give you the capability of providing security at the application layer, setting up a secure application VPN tunnel. Marry that with rich data and network security policies that we provide, where you can be prescriptive and really restrict the application on the device, how it traverses your network, what servers it can touch. You can be that prescriptive on it to give you that level of robust security. So what do you do next? Where do I start? Glad you asked me that question. I apologize for the name of the book. The folks at Wiley like to remember the For Dummies series, but we do have copies of the Secure Digital Workspace for Dummies for government available at our booth here outside. We'll be glad to give you a copy if you want to stop by. Thank you.